One of the trending baits that's really been happening, especially places where you have milfoil coming up within a foot or two of the surface, is a wake bait. I know the Potomac River, a lot of the tidal river systems here on Lake Guntersville, when the grass gets up close to the surface, it's really dynamite. This one's really cool. It's got two little holes there right in the paddle, and it really keeps that lure on the surface running true coming across the surface of the water. And I'm telling you, it is dynamite. You see some wicked blow-ups with it. It's really similar to how we used to fish a spinnerbait, bubbling it, up high on the surface, and you can take this lure and do the exact same thing. Keep your rod tip high, and that thing just comes along the surface, and you see some wicked strikes with it. It is really cool. I tell you, this lure, it excels over vegetation. Down in Florida, I've really caught them around the Kissimmee grass, the boat lanes, a lot of different things. But I'm gonna tell you another application. Anytime you're fishing foam on boat docks, or those big gizzard shad get up and they eat the slime off of the side of the foam on those boat docks. Lake of the Ozarks, a lot of lakes that boat docks is really, a dominant factor. This is a great way to fish around the pilings and around the foam on those floating boat docks. It's just a great way to fish. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the best things to do that I like to do is really target the corners. Now don't get me wrong, I like to come along the sides, but those corners where those boat docks, the foam turns, is really the key places, or where the pilings is connected to the foam. Those type places are dynamite, and you can take this lure, and it's so heavy you can really make good casts with it and get up in and around the edges of that foam, and those fish just come up and smoke it. There he is. Little guy. And he smoked it though. Cool. Yeah, them trebles will get them, man. That is tight. That is a cool bite, watching them hit that fish. Beautiful. Man, when they get in that grass, they get all colored up. I'm gonna tell you, that's, you get a little breeze blowing in on a place like this too, that can make a lure like this really that much better. Get a cloudy day like today, they're gonna get up high in that grass. You gotta have something that's gonna come right over the surface. A stop and go technique. I'll pump my rod a little bit and make that thing bubble on the surface, but it's really steady, keeping the rod high. That keeps it up close to the surface, and most of the strikes are gonna be visual. They're gonna be where you can see them. And the big thing that I like is actually seeing those strikes. Man, it's some of the most wicked boils that you will see on a lure, but it's really just keeping the rod high, and when you get bit, just come from right here to right here really quick. I'm gonna show you an example. Just right there really fast, and just go to reeling. The speed of your retrieve, it's just like with any crankbait, that's what's gonna drive those hooks into the fish, is the speed of the retrieve. When he comes up and grabs it and you come back and you really real fast, you've got him. Most of the time, treble hooks, if they're sharp hooks the way these VMC hooks are gonna start biting right off. So just keep the retrieve steady, making a lot of casts. This is another great lure when you see bass blowing up in the grass, and you want something you can really move quick, but you don't want something that goes way under the surface. And a lot of times a spinnerbait is too loud. And what I mean by too loud is not an audio sound. What I mean by too loud is visually too loud. Those blades and everything, this is more compact, it looks more realistic. And heavily pressured situations, you can really catch them on a wake bait.